What is going on, YouTube? Joe here with Culination Media, bringing you yet another Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle today against Carlos Bear. I mean, Carlos Oso, same thing though. Anyway, today is a PU match. I was about to say NU, but no, it's not NU. It's the NU of the NU, and that is the wonderful PU tier. I absolutely love PU. I haven't gotten the chance to play it a whole lot just because I don't have a lot of Pokemon to choose from. This is really all that I have, so I really have no choice but to bring these Pokemon. I think the only other one that I have that's PU is Meganium at this point. I'm working on breeding some other ones and getting some others transferred from my Black and White 2 games, but I haven't gotten all that sorted out yet, so this is what I have to go with. As you can see by the date, this battle was a while ago. Almost a month ago, actually. But it was a really good battle, and I have it saved, so I want to show you guys. So before we get into the teams, though, just want to remind you guys that as long as this video reaches that magical number of 60 likes, we'll continue to bring you these lovely daily double Wi-Fi battle uploads and all of that fun stuff. Now, that aside, we're both carrying the R-Box. That is a huge threat right off the bat, because most of the time they like to run coil, that kind of stuff. Mine is just basically a standard coil set. His is probably going to be similar. Very similar. I like to run Intimidate on mine just because I feel like it has a little bit more utility. That's just my personal preference. I believe Arbok also gets Shed Skin, and that works very, very well in PU as well. He's got the Mr. Mime, which can do a bunch of different things, to be honest. It really can. It can actually work very well as a special attacker. I've seen it set up dual screens. And the Fairy typing that it got this generation makes it a little bit more versatile. So I need to watch out for that. I do have 2 poison types that will help me deal with that if necessary, and Mr. Mime also has really bad physical defense. So that being said, he also has the Torterra. We're both carrying the Torterra, actually. Mine is a defensive set. It's a sub-seeding set, actually, which is very uncommon in PU, but it works better in higher tiers, and that's actually why I made it. But I decided, you know what, I'll use it in PU too. Why not? Why not? But in PU, Torterra tends to be a more offensive threat via Life Orb, Rock Polish, that kind of stuff. So we'll see what he wants to do. He also has the Relicanth, and it has a lot of power behind it, mainly because it gets Rock Head and Head Smash. So that's just an incredible amount of power. So physical Relicanth is a thing. Octillery is a huge threat. Doesn't really even need to be in Trick Room in PU, just because it's so powerful, and it gets a great move pool, actually. It gets, you know, Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, Psychic, and then its standard Water-type moves, Ice Beam. It's got a lot to choose from. And then the Pikachu, which is probably going to be Light Ball, and it might have the, you know, extreme speed, all that stuff. Pikachu's nothing to laugh at in this tier whatsoever. It's very, very powerful. I already mentioned my Torterra and my R-Box, so I'm going to skip to my Muk, which is going to be my specially defensive wall. It's got Toxic, and then just a couple of coverage moves. It's actually a very weird set. Very weird set, but very effective. And then I've got the Rotom Frost, which is going to be choiced, of course, and I think it works out well. I mean, Blizzard tends to miss a lot, but other than that, Rotom is still a good Pokemon. Then I've got the Granbull, which is going to be, I don't know, it's not a physical wall, it's not really anything, it's Assault Vest with Intimidate and 4 attacks. Obviously, it's got the Play Rough, Crunch, Ice Punch, and what else does it have? What am I missing? I don't know, I'm drawing a blank here. Play Rough, Crunch, Ice Punch. I know that most people carry the Earthquake, but I'm pretty sure I put something else on there. Close Combat, there we go. Having a little bit of a brain fart there. And then the Glaceon, which you've seen in some of my other battles. It's just like a basic, well, not basic, but it's got Hail, Protect, Substitute, and Blizzard, I believe, are the moves that I'm carrying, as well as Icy Rock, so it's kind of an interesting set. That being said, I'm going to start off with my Arbok here. Our opponent's going to start off with that shiny Mr. Mime. So that's a little bit of a bad matchup for me, just because he can one-shot me with the Psychic. So I'm going to switch out here, because if he's an offensive threat and he's carrying the Scarf, I am just straight up dead. Don't want to risk that at this point. So I'm going to switch into my Granbull, because I am Assault Vest. I know I can take any special attack that he wants to throw my way. He's going to go for the Icy Wind. So that tells me he's probably going to be offensive, because Mr. Mime does get the Technician, so Icy Wind will be boosted by that. And as you can see, it does a lot of damage. It does lower my speed, but that doesn't really matter because Granbull is slow as balls anyway. In comes Nemo, the Relicanth, which is a great nickname for it, by the way. As I go for the Play Rough there, really doesn't do that much damage because Relicanth is pretty thick on the physical side, to be honest. It really is. So now I need to switch. going to switch into my Atlas, which is my physical wall, as he goes for that head smash, and it's still going to do a lot of damage. Look how much damage that does. That is a crit, but still, I'm fully physically defensive, impish nature, and all that stuff. Even if that wasn't a crit, that would have been a lot of damage for a resisted hit. So he's going to switch out here, because obviously he's afraid of the Woodhammer, and he's going to switch into his Deku, which is his own Torterra, as I go for the Leech Seed. I don't know what I was thinking there. The switch into his Torterra was very obvious, so I just kind of dropped the ball on that one. I didn't want to make any, fancy predictions too early in the game, but I probably should have because it was pretty obvious. So I decided to go for the Woodhammer here and see what he wants to do, and he's going to go for the substitute, so I'm pretty sure he's very similar, or if not, like the exact same set as what I'm running. So that's actually pretty funny. I was a little bit upset going into this match, because, I'm kind of bringing a try-hard team, and I don't like doing that normally, but my opponent ended up bringing a very similarly try-hardish team, so it kind of worked out, because we're both kind of try-hards. At least, that's what we brought. So yeah, go for the Woodhammer there. I need to break that sub, and I can't afford to switch out and have him start lead seeding stuff. So he's going to go for the Stockpile. Stockpile Torterra, what is this? So up goes his defense and special defense, and this is bad news for me. It's really bad news, because, I guess I could switch into Muck and try to Toxic him, but he's just going to Earthquake me, and that would be the end of Muck, and that's just, it's bad. It's a bad situation all the way around, and I don't have anything that is going to be able to phase this thing out and get rid of his boost. So what I'm going to do here is go into my Glaceon. I'm guessing he's going to go for another Stockpile. That is what he goes for, so I get that free switch. And now, basically, I have to hope that Blizzard hits. That's what it comes down to. Because it's still going to kill, even at +2 special defense. And I know he's, at like the 75% health range, but Blizzard is incredibly powerful. So I'm going to go for the sub here, either predicting another Stockpile or predicting that he's going to go for the Leech Seed. Doesn't go for either, he goes for the Earthquake. So that is going to break my sub, because, Earthquake coming off of Torterra is just very, very powerful. Even if it's uninvested, still very powerful hits. So he's going to get more lefties recovery. He's going to withdraw his Deku here because he's afraid of the Ice-type move. And in comes Paul, which is going to be his shiny Octillery. I have to say, I don't really like the coloring of, or the color scheme of shiny Octillery. I feel like the regular Octillery is much cooler with that bright red hue. That's just me, though. Anyway, I'm going to set up the Hail here with Glaceon, get my Ice Body going, and now Blizzards can hit, with 100% accuracy. Remember, I also have Rotom Frost, which has the Blizzard as well. So the Hail does help me here. In comes Muck. As he goes for the Water Spout, I should be able to take that kind of sort of okay, because I am completely specially defensive, and yeah, I kind of sort of take that okay. From full health, that's not bad at all. Not bad at all. It does not even do 50%. I'm going to get hit by the Hail, but I will get that HP back due to my Black Sludge. He's going to go for the Water Spout again, because there's no reason for him not to at this point. And Muck still takes that. Not great, but he does take that. And there is the Thunderbolt. That's going to bring him down to about 50%. Maybe a little bit lower than that with the hail damage. And I think this thing might be Specs, honestly, at this point. Judging by the way he's playing it. Might be Specs Octillery, and that is nothing to laugh at. Octillery is incredibly, incredibly powerful, as I mentioned in the team preview. So he's going to switch out here, because he doesn't want to give up his Octillery at this point. He's going to go into his, I don't even want to try to pronounce that, but it's going to be his Arbok. Orochimaru is what I want to say that looks like, but I could be completely wrong. So Earthquake is definitely going to be coming here, because most Arboks like to carry that. I'm carrying the Aqua Tail instead of the Earthquake on mine, just because there's a little bit of a surprise factor there. It benefits from Coil, helps get rid of ground types that Arbok does not normally like, so I just feel like it's a decent move to carry. The Earthquake was obvious, though, so I'm going to switch into my Rotom Frost to take that with the Levitate, get some extra hail damage on this thing, and because it's still hailing, I can unleash a Blizzard. And Arbok takes that, even though it's a critical hit. That's ridiculous. He goes for the Gunk Shot, and that misses, so that's a little bit hacksy. But that leads me to believe that this is like a defensive Arbok? I don't know. I don't even know. Maybe I'm just overestimating the power of Rotom, but a Stab Blizzard, I feel like that should have killed. But it did not. I do finish him off the next turn, though. In comes the Octillery again, and I am locked into the Blizzard, so I'm going to stay in and go for that. Almost kill him, and he's going to get a Flamethrower off, which is bad news for me. As I mentioned, he's probably Specs. Doesn't matter, though. He gets a crit. Rotom Frost is going down after really not doing that much work. Rotom normally does way more work for me, but that being said, we're going to go back into the Glaceon here now that the hail has stopped. And he is going to outspeed me. And that's going to bring me down to 33 HP. I'm going to finish him off with a Hidden Power. So Octillery is out of the way. Another huge threat gone. We've got Arbok and Octillery out of here. And that's just great. In comes the mascot, which is going to be his Pikachu. And this thing is very scary. I'm very afraid of the extreme speed. I'm not sure what set this thing is running. It's probably going to be either Light Ball or Eviolite. There's the knockoff, so that's something that I haven't seen on Pikachu, but that's going to finish off my Muck, because as I mentioned before, you know, that's my specially defensive wall, so it doesn't take physical hits that well, and yeah, that is that. So I'm going to go into Arbok here, after now seeing that this Pikachu is definitely physical, because there are special Pikachus as well, so I might as well just lower his attack. I need to use these Intimidates to my advantage here, because he has mostly physical attackers left. In comes Deku again, which is going to be his Torterra as I go for the coil. I figured he would switch there, and even if he didn't want to switch, I figured I could still take a hit from that Pikachu if I had to, with my +1 defense. So he's going to get some lefties recovery there with that Torterra, which is fine, and he's almost back up to full health. But I'm going to go for a Gunk Shot, which at +1 is going to do some decent damage. And I'm going to get the poison, so he's getting a little haxed here, which is a bit unfortunate. There's the Earthquake. And that's just going to do a crap ton of damage. Somehow, Arbok survives that, and that is not an intimidated Torterra either. So that's kind of ridiculous. That definitely tells me that this thing has to be uninvested in attack. If his other moves were not enough of an inclination for me. Anyway, going to go for the Gunk Shot there, finish off this Torterra. I know most of his team doesn't really want to take a Gunk Shot with Arbok gone. You know, he's got the Mr. Mime, that's not going to like it. Pikachu's not going to like it. And I'm really afraid of some kind of priority here, Extreme Speed, Quick Attack, something like that. So I'm going to switch in Glaceon here to die, basically. And it looks like his only priority is going to be the Fake Out. I mean, I can't be positive. So I stay in. But he's just going to go for the Quick Attack. So now I've seen 3 out of his 4 moves. So there's no Extreme Speed, so he could be Volt Tackle. That is very possible. So I'm going to go into my Torterra here, and I know the only thing he can do to me is Knockoff, which does a decent amount of damage, yeah. That's what I meant to say. I'm speaking too fast here, I'm just tripping over my words. I'm going to go for the Leech Seed, and force him to either switch out, or just stay in and continue to get his health sapped, because now that he's knocked off my leftovers, he's not going to be able to do nearly as much damage with that Knockoff. And so he's going to switch. That is the obvious play here. And he's going to go into Mr. Creepy, which is a great name for Mr. Mime, I have to say. Great name. As I go for the substitute here, so that's going to protect me for at least 1 turn. And there's the Icy Wind. I was kind of hoping that he was going to miss that, to be honest, but I think Icy Wind has like 90% accuracy, 95% accuracy, something like that. It's a high accuracy move. Not 100, but close enough, I guess. And he's going to reveal the Life Orb there. And I'm going to hit him up with an Earthquake, and that is comes so close to killing this thing. I really thought it would kill, but again, I am uninvested, so Torterra's on both sides of the field coming just short of KOs. But he's going to die to his own Life Orb, which is great, but I really wanted that kill with the Earthquake. I can't believe he survived with like 2 HP or whatever it was. 2.5 HP maybe. In comes the mascot again. And I believe this is his last Pokemon now, so I need to use my Intimidates to my advantage, because I also have the Granbull left, remember. So I'm going to go into Arbok, get the Intimidate. I expect the Fake Out to be coming here, so I'm going to switch into my Granbull to get the double Intimidate, because I'm feeling that that's my only chance to win here. He's going to go for the Fake Out. That's really not going to do that much damage at -2, and as you can see, it really doesn't do anything at all. Oh no, he's withdrawing. He does have one more Pokemon. My bad, he has the Nemo. Oh yes, the Relicanth. Did not get rid of this. I am going to get a Play Rough off on this thing, so he can only take 1 more of those, and I do outspeed. It probably is a choice band set. Not positive, but that seems to be a typical Relicanth set for PU. So the Play Rough does take down the Relicanth, which is great. And now we're just right back where we were before. That is indeed his last Pokemon now, and I need to get these Intimidates off. So I'm expecting another Fake Out. Going to switch into my Arbok here to get the Intimidate. There it is, and he goes for the Volt Tackle instead. I guess predicting me to switch, I don't know. Or just figuring that Fake Out is a waste of a turn. So he's going to get a little tiny bit of recoil, just baby damage there. Arbok goes down, but he did his job. Arbok was just absolutely fantastic in this battle, I have to say. So in comes the Granbull, going to get another Intimidate off, so now we have the -2, and I needed that -2 because with the Volt Tackle, he's not going to be able to take me out from that range. I live with 21 HP, he's going to get a little bit of recoil, and the Play Rough is going to be too much for Pikachu to handle because Pikachu has absolutely terrible defenses. It is all offense. So the Pikachu goes down, and that is going to be the end of the battle. It was an extremely, extremely close battle. A 1-0 in my favor, but just that was much better than our last battle because if you remember, we did a UU battle maybe? It was UU or RU? I honestly can't remember. But I did lose to him the first time, so I was very happy to get this win because I like beating people that previously have beaten me. I do get a little bit of competitiveness, I guess, so it was fun. But overall, I'm really excited to be getting into PU just a little bit more. Like I said, I'm trying to breed some more Pokemon. I have a lot on my plate right now, but I'm trying to get that done so I can get into some more PU battles with you guys. I will definitely be announcing on Twitter when I'm taking PU battles, so if you would like to get a team together and face me at a PU battle, feel free to look out for that. Make sure you're following me on Twitter and all that good stuff. That way you can get in on that and maybe get in on the channel. Who knows? Who knows? That's going to be it for this time, guys, so thank you very much for watching, as always, and thank you, Carlos, also, for the match, and, yeah, that's pretty much it, so I'll see you for tomorrow's battle, but until then, game on.